Hello again, everybody. This is Rusty, aka William Robinson, aka Dr. Robinson, and I am the Blues Doctor. Welcome back to our third and last special travel edition of the podcast. We are back home finally on the Gulf Coast after our trip of 12 days and about 4,500 miles. So we're still recovering a little bit, but we got a few more days of events to share with you. So sit back, relax, hit like and subscribe, share, make comments, all of those things, and we'll get to it. We stopped at several interesting places on the way back from North Dakota to the Gulf Coast. Deadwood, South Dakota, in particular, was a fascinating place in a way. It is an old West town with lots of historical buildings. It's in the Black Hills, but it is now very much a biker community, particularly at this time of year, that is in August. It is very loud. It is very crowded, almost to the point of being overwhelming. Everybody was very nice. Everybody seemed to be having a good time. So if that's what you're into, I'm sure it would be great. And not really so much for us, although we enjoyed the restaurant we ate at there. And I wonder if it wouldn't be different, perhaps, if you visited Deadwood in the winter. Our last stop was in Jefferson, Texas. This is an old riverboat town from antebellum days, back when a port existed on Cypress Bayou that connected all the way to New Orleans and St. Louis. You could take a steamboat from either of those cities and make it all the way to Jefferson in those days. That changed when the river changed course in the late 19th century, and Jefferson unfortunately lost more than half its population as a result. These days, Jefferson is mostly a tourist town. It is very historic. Most of the historic buildings are still in existence. Many of them have been renovated, so they're very nice. The Excelsior Hotel, for example, is the oldest hotel in the state of Texas. And many of the buildings are reported to be haunted. There are all kinds of reports of various forms of paranormal activity. We actually stayed at the Khan Hotel, which is also reported to be haunted. We stayed in the most haunted room, which is room 204 on the second floor. And it was very nice. Once again, all hardwood floors that were original, the original stairways, original balconies, all of those things. So it was a very pleasant place. Once again, however, we did not experience any paranormal activity. In fact, we struck out on paranormal experiences on the whole trip, which included five supposedly haunted hotels and the Villisca axe murder house. So maybe next time. One other interesting observation the Blues Doctor had, we stayed one night at the Grand Island Casino Hotel in Grand Island, Nebraska. It's about in the middle of the state. I've realized that things have changed a lot in the casino and casino hotel industry lately. There are no more comps like there used to be. It used to be if you sat down at a bar with video poker machines, you could order a drink and it was on the house. Now you get charged full price for that. Also, the price of the rooms is no longer any cheaper than a comparable non casino hotel like it used to be for decades. And the gambling floor itself was not that busy for a Saturday night. Lots of the tables were empty, in fact. I asked around and got an employee to admit to me that this was pretty much the case in the gaming industry all over the United States, including Las Vegas. After that, I went and checked out some of the YouTube videos on the current state of Las Vegas and confirmed that this is a hard time for the gaming industry for a variety of reasons. If you want more information about that, I would encourage you to check that out. It's fascinating for anybody who has ever spent any time in Las Vegas or in the gaming industry overall. Overall, the trip was lots of fun. Actually, the producer for the Blues Doctor picked out a series of states that we'd never been to make up this trip, and that included Minnesota and Iowa and North Dakota and Nebraska. So we did learn a lot about that, but it is good to be home. I think the Blues Doctor just about reached his driving limit. I don't know that he could be an open road trucker at this point in his life. Any rate, next week we will get back on our regular schedule of podcasts. So don't forget to subscribe and look for us next time. In the meantime, here's a clip from Jefferson, Texas that I took on the day we were there that you may find interesting. See you later. Jefferson, Texas is an interesting town. We spent the night here last night at the Khan Hotel, which is said to be haunted, as are a number of the other buildings in town. It's also interesting because Jefferson is known to be associated with Bigfoot. Here's the origin of this building. Khan Hotel. Bright sunshine today. Jefferson, Texas billed itself as the Bigfoot capital of Texas based on the number of sightings. Has a number of statues and other things associated with Bigfoot, and is planning a Bigfoot museum for somewhere in town soon.